Here we are at the Longevity Now conference. I have caught up with David Avocado Wolfe. I'm thrilled. First of all, so you've been known as Avocado for what, 16 or 20 years? How did you get that nickname?
Well, in the early days, it was the three of us. It was myself, my best friend, and my cousin. And we were going to be a superhero troupe. So
nice.
It was kind of like based on the idea of KISS.
Oh yeah?
Right, so
cool.
Each one of them is like their own little superhero thing with their own albums, and then they get together and they make their own, records together or something.
Right, like the Justice League or the Avengers, right? They come together.
They come together, exactly, yeah,
okay.
like a superhero group.
Like it.
And we thought we had to have superhero names.
Okay.
So my best friend became Captain Wheatgrass.
Nice.
Yeah, and that was fun. And then my cousin became the Raw Courage Vegetable Man.
Ooh, I like. Nice.
But we couldn't think of something for me. And then one day I was looking through my cousin's notebook, and he had their Fats Avocado as a potential name for me, and I was like, dude, that's clever.
Yeah,
like Fats Domino, right? So Fats Avocado.
Nice.
So that's what it became. It was like David Fats Avocado Wolfe, and then eventually the Fats dropped off, and it became just David Avocado, and I've been going by Avocado ever since. That was literally, I think that was 18 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're still rocking out.
Still rocking it with that name.
Love it.
Yeah.
So our viewers are the full gamut, from people just getting started with the eat healthy lifestyle to people that have probably read every book that you've written. Why did you get started? For people that don't know, how did you get started with raw foods? Because you really started it. You really started the movement. So grateful to you for that, by the way.
Well, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, by the way. Like Ann Wigmore and Victorious Kulvinskas and all the people who came before.
Yeah.
And so, I always realized that, like, without their preparatory work, then I could never have been able to do what I've been able to do.
Right.
But I have a passion for raw foods. I always have. Since I was a kid. When I first came to Southern California in 1977, we planted a citrus orchard at my uncle's house. And that's when I first got that connection to, like, eating fruit off the tree and running around barefoot in nature all day, and
it's
not
blissful.
not being near roads. And it was really incredible to grow up in that kind of environment, because all the houses were all connected in this rural area, kind of from the backyard direction. So you didn't have to cross roads or even go down roads.
Nice.
You could cut through people's backyards, but they were big properties. So we would run around those places barefoot, and that's when it started. That's when the seeds were planted. But generally, it was really the issue that I had with dairy. Dairy products. I could not digest dairy products.
Really?
Yeah, I was allergic to dairy products. I realized that one day when I started buying all my own food when I went to college. When I was 18 years old, I realized that something in here is not working. I don't know what it is, but something in my diet. So I just did a process of elimination and figured it out, and it was cheese and dairy. So I got off all milk, all cheese, even eggs, everything. Just got off.
What was the manifestation of you not being able to digest dairy? Like, what was happening to you that made you realize that was a problem?
Well, I would have like indigestion. My stomach would be upset. My intestines would be upset. Later, I found out that all my ear problems, like my earwax problems that I had since I was a little kid, were all caused by food allergies, which is basically dairy allergies. And so a lot of things that were bothering me, mucus, like excessive mucus, all of that stuff went away.
So what would you tell to parents that make their kids drink their milk, who still think that that's a really great base for nutrition? What alternatives would you recommend to them, or what would you say to them?
Oh, eat vegetable juice.
Yeah.
Vegetables. Just eat vegetables.
We don't need that milk.
You don't need milk. It's actually dangerous. It's homogenized. It's pasteurized. It's got larvicides in it, fungicides, herbicides. It's got genetically modified ingredients, often with this RBGHT stuff. It's got chalk is added to it to make it white.
Yeah.
And it's got pus cells in it, and there's a limited amount of pus cells, an allowable amount of pus cells that are allowed into all the milk in America by state. And when you see what the number actually is, it's so high. You can't even believe it. I mean, the whole thing is just dangerous, straight away dangerous.
Right.
So, you get all the calcium you need from vegetables. You don't need milk. But I didn't know that, so I started reading up on nutrition. So it became a hobby. And I realized, I need to eat vegetables in order to get the calcium and all the things that I need for strong bones and muscles and things that they say you need milk for. And that led me step by step to get deeper and deeper into nutrition as a hobby. And eventually, within a few years, I'd worked my way into being a raw foodist.
Yeah.
And then in 1994, the crusade started. And so it's been 18 years.